can be what you want to be. Be what you want to be. You just be what you want to be with me.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Happy AF. My name is Sambowker, and I am so excited to have you here today. So, guys, listen, I've got something super special to chat with you about today. Sleep. Sleep. Oh, my God. And the shame with which I have when I think I'm doing too much sleep. Now, I want to see if you guys can relate to this situation, okay? Are you a good sleeper, or would you say you're not? Right? Are you someone that needs your 6 hours sleep every night, or are you someone that can, or 6 hours sleep? See, that's me, right? Are you someone that needs your 9 hours sleep every night, or can you survive on perhaps 4 or 6, rocking it out Tony Robbins style? I have always prided myself on not needing a huge amount of sleep, right? I've always been a pretty consistent, if I get my 6 hours, I can crack on, right? And in the last little bit of time, I have not been able to do that. And I've been beating the shit out of myself, okay? And I mean, I'm talking, I've been getting up, still doing my crazy schedule, going to the gym, coming home, and at 5:30 going back to bed. And in fact, on top of that, not only have I done that, but feeling bad about the fact that I have needed to go back to bed, I've actually been going and buying a Krispy Kreme donut, trying to inhale some sugar to try and help myself feel better, which is hilarious because, I try and stay fit and healthy. I've just gone and done a training session, and now I just go and undo all my work by actually eating a Krispy Kreme donut. Kind of, defeats the entire purpose of going to the gym. But the reason I guess I wanted to talk with you about the whole sleep thing is that I did an interview recently about self-care. And I always tend to find that I start interviewing people and I tend to meet people at times in my life when I really need to hear that message myself. And I met someone recently who calls herself the self-care goddess. And, a few years ago, if you talked to me about self-care, I remember I was just like I'd hurt my back, and I remember stumbling into this session to see a client. I could barely walk, right? And I remember sitting down, talk about a just total contradiction, a walking contradiction, barely walking at that point. I remember sitting down and going to this lady. I was essentially, I was being an asshole. I was lecturing her about self-care. And as I was sitting there lecturing her about self-care, it was like I teleported out of myself. I looked down on myself, this person who was like so much pain I could barely walk. And I realized, I was like, oh my God, I've become one of those people. I'm telling someone else over here what they should do. And while saying do this, I'm essentially doing a whole do as I say, not as I do, because I was not taking care of myself. I was working ridiculous hours. I was not sleeping. I was seeing too many clients back to back. I was absolutely not taking care of my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health, my spiritual health. I was not taking care of anything. I was a hot mess. And I was coaching and mentoring people on self-care and taking care of themselves, right? So like I said, a walking contradiction. Anyway, I remember after that session going to my assistant outside and saying, you need to take me to a doctor. Because at this point I hadn't even been to a doctor, right? Fast forward to today, I'm much better. I'm proud to say this was back in 2016. I'm much better at the whole self-care piece. But I didn't realise literally until the last week how hard I am on myself about sleep and needing more, right? And so it's been a really interesting week. And so I wanted to ask you, do you have rules for yourself around how your life has to look for you to feel a particular way? I talked last week about addiction, right? And I'm really starting to realise a bit about myself with regards to my addictive patterns, some that are serving me, some that are definitely not. And I definitely have this addiction to do more, be more, have more, grow more. It's healthy sometimes, but I think that in the last 90 days, I have pushed myself to the limits. And in the last week, my body has just gone, that's it. No more, we're not doing it. And it's like I've literally just had to tap out. I've had to sleep, right? And so the reason I wanted to share this with you is that I didn't realise how much of a pattern I had and how much shame I had around taking that extra time for myself. And so I've had to go into this space of reflection and really think about why it is that I've got these stories around sleep, right? And what does it even mean? And I've realized that I created these beliefs a long time ago, right? I mean, we create our beliefs when we're young, and beliefs are just stories, okay? But I created these beliefs a long time ago because I decided I wanted to be a super success, right? And to me, a success was someone who was out there helping lots of people, earning lots of money, being the best at whatever it is that I was doing. And back in those days, my model, right, my person that I looked up to was Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins is a crazy person. Like, there's just no doubt. I don't know. He's a Martian from Mars. If you haven't heard of Tony Robbins, just let me tell you, he's crazy pants. I mean, the guy is 60. He's just had a child with his beautiful wife, Sage. He's got 4 other children. He was known as the Wonder Boy from a very early age. He's crazy pants, right? But he does not sleep very much, okay? And he was my model for success when I was younger. And so I look back at that and I think to myself, you know, I've kind of pushed and driven and really propelled myself forward and have always kind of thought, actually, this is who I have to be. I have to do this to get to where I want to go, and I have to propel myself forward. And for years, my body has been saying no, right? I've had issues with my back and my neck and my knee and my ankle. And so I wonder if you had that awareness that I'm now having. And every time I think I've got it sorted, something like this happens, right? My body talks to me and it's like I don't listen. And then I'll have to have a friend say to me, well, of course you're sleeping. That's really good. And it's almost like I need permission from somebody to sleep. I mean, what the fuck is that? Permission? Just sleep if you're tired. But I have this story that I'm being lazy. Right? And then I'm my own toughest critic. And then I go into this space of I have to go and I have to do more. And if I don't get this done, then this is going to happen. And I catastrophize in my brain. Now, some people would call that anxiety. High performers call it stress. It's a combination of the two, but it's actually a scarcity mindset, right? And I've had to actually really sit back and go, oh my God, here I am doing all this personal development work and I think I've got this nailed down, and every single week I am blown away by some other insight or awareness that kicks in, and my most recent one has been this sleep thing. I want to share this with you because I sometimes think that, you know, even just with my friends, I will talk with them and they will think that this certain area of my life, I've totally just got it nailed down. And like, honestly, I'm like a duck, right? Above the water, I'm serene and I'm just, you know, everything looks wonderful. And underwater, I'm paddling like fucking crazy and it's like crazy town. And honestly, I think a big chunk of my life is like that. And so I just wanted to be really authentic with you today and share that, because there is this paddling going on and I get to honestly reflect on that and ask myself, where am I paddling to? Right? There's a difference between holding yourself accountable to the goals that you set and giving yourself permission to rest. Because if you don't, here is going to be the side effect. And I've been at this long enough now that I should bloody know better, but I still don't listen. And so I'm going to get to look at this a bit more over the coming weeks, and I will share this journey with you because the reality is, you know what? It's so funny. I'm now realizing I did a workshop just about 6 weeks ago, and I'm just having an aha as I'm sitting here listening to you. Oh my God, the pennies just dropped again. So listen to this. I did a workshop a few weeks back, and Tony Robbins, who I've just told you was my mentor and someone who I really respected, he said on stage, and I had totally forgotten about it until right now, how he realised how he had his entire life underestimated the importance of sleep. Oh my God. Oh my God, I can't even believe I'm like, wow, okay. I know you guys don't get the epiphany I'm having right now, but I'm dead set having an epiphany because, again, I'm realising that my subconscious has heard this, or at least this is the story I'm going to make up about it. My subconscious has heard this. I respect him. He's now given me permission to acknowledge that sleep is a worthwhile endeavour. It's taken me about 4 or 5 weeks for my subconscious to land with it. Or my conscious didn't even listen to it. It heard it and kind of just, didn't even pay attention. And now my body's finally just gone, all right, you silly woman, you got given the memo by the person that you respect. You're still not listening. So you know what we're going to do? We're just going to give you no choice. And we're going to make you so tired that you literally can't keep your eyes open, which is what my week has been like. And I have done everything to try and fight it. I've taken the medication that I said I didn't want to take to try and keep my brain straight. I've eaten Krispy Kreme donuts twice this week. I've had a Krispy Kreme donut and a coffee at 5:30 in the morning after going to my personal training session. Like what an idiot. Oh my God. And I'm just having this epiphany. So there we go. Who do you need permission from to do that thing that your body's actually already telling you need to do? Me, I'm lucky. I've got a team of people around me that when I whinge about not feeling well and I then say, help me, what can I do? I need my body to perform better. And I go and book myself in for transfusions of vitamin C and B12 and all of that. But I just realised now that actually I need to get to be okay. In fact, I not need to. I must give myself permission to be okay with sleeping more. Okay, so I hope you've shared this. I hope you've enjoyed this little epiphany. I am a bit sleep deprived, hence the fact I can't string my sentences together, and it is late in the day. But I wonder if this shows up for you, right? What little pattern, what little belief have you got that you created a long time ago that is not serving you to be the best version of you? Because this has served me up till now, but I've got to tell you, my body is saying no more, right? It's time to become a self-care goddess. And it's time to be effective with the time that you're awake, but also give yourself permission to sleep. Otherwise, we're going to take you out. And for me, I guess I've been fortunate. In this case, I've just been tired. But I really do believe that dis-ease within the body is caused from untreated emotional trauma. And that emotional trauma can just be something as simple as if you don't give yourself enough sleep and love and respect yourself enough, then your body is going to scream and shout until you listen. And that is going to end up being something, it might be the feather to start with, which might just be a bit of a niggle in the neck. And then it might be a rock that gets thrown at you. And that could end up being, I don't know, something a bit more hectic. It might be like, I don't know, IBS or leaky gut syndrome. And then it might be the truck. The truck could be cancer. So for someone that knows this stuff, believes this stuff, teaches this stuff, it amazes me that I still am surprised when my body takes the decision away from me like it has this week. So I wanted to just share that with you so that you can stop beating the shit out of yourself when you maybe don't do your optimum in an area of your life, because I eat, sleep and breathe this stuff. And I'm just showing you, like, as we live and breathe, how much I fuck up along the way. So I hope you've enjoyed this little vulnerable share on Happy AF TV, because I really believe that for us to get where we want to go, which honestly, everybody just wants to be happy, okay? It's the number one response I get when I ask anyone what they want in life. They want to be happy. And for us to be happy, we need to understand who we are and we need to understand what makes us tick and be honest with ourselves and not numb the shit out of ourselves. So if you too have been doing silly things like I've just been doing, sit and reflect and ask yourself, is this serving you to be the best version of you? My name is Sambowker. Thank you for joining me for this little episode of Happy AF. I love you guys. Have a great night. I will see you next week.